Hello everyone, this is a quick review of the Fisher-Price Great Adventure Wild Western Town. Wild Western Town is the first set of the Wild Western Town series. I will admit, as a kid, and I thought very odd reasoning things as kids, or as a kid, I said, this set is too modern. Castle and Pirates, no, those guys are way too far off. And so I recall as a kid thinking, do I really want this one? But it's like, yes, I do, because it's a new set in the Great Adventure line. And I'm happy. I'm happy I have it. I am happy that I have all the other sets for Wild Western Town, and I'll go into what each and everything does. But Wild Western Town is one of the best sets out there. In fact, I'm willing to argue and say it's the second best set compared to, or the only one that beats it is the Great Adventure Castle. It comes with the most amount of guys, and I'm not talking about the re-release of the castle, because that's just a re-release of the castle, so I'm not counting that one, but it has the most amount of guys. If this were your only set, this is the only set that you, sorry, let me back up here for a second. If this were your only set, it would work, because you got good guys, you got bad guys. One of the things that and like, I just got done comparing it to the Great Adventure Castle. Well, Great Adventure Castle doesn't come with horses. It doesn't come with some of these extra little things, and so, like, it's right up there in terms of stuff that it can do, reasonings for. And so let's just really go ahead and dive into the Wild Western Town. We'll start off with guys, and we'll go from there. So in terms of the Wild Western Town, it comes with 6 figures, 3 good guys, 3 bad guys. It is very old school Western, where good guys wear white, bad guys wear black. As a kid, there are a couple of them that I said to myself, really? That's kind of a weirdo thing to have. I wish they had more guns. That's what I think about when I think of Westerns. As an adult, I go, okay, I recognize why you have this. Just to kind of show you a little bit more of a zoomed in version, because I realize that the spinning thing, sometimes you can't really see their faces all that well. And so make sure that you get everything. And then both the good sheriff and the bad sheriff both have that old school king feel, where they do a arm movement here. I was just trying to think of a word for it, but in this case, it's a quick draw. So next, you have this guy here. Hopefully, he doesn't fall over. Oh, it's kind of getting cut off on top of the frame there, but that's totally fine. And so, this is one of these guys, like, oh man, Big Griff, this guy had a gun. Well, he does have a gun. He has a gun off to the side, but a gun in his actual hand. Well, like, hey, this guy's job is to lasso the horses, lasso the bad guys, do that kind of stuff for him. And so, like, hey, not everyone needs a gun. Not everyone needs to, be packing heat. You got this guy here who also has a badge, so he is a deputy, while the other guy with the lasso does not have one. And this is one of these guys too, where it's like, man, gee, I wish this guy had a gun. And you're going to hear me say this over and over again. Well, pretty much all these guys have guns. They just don't have them out. And it makes sense that this guy, he has a key, and he has a chain you can hook up to other guys' arms. This guy is come to arrest you and lock you up. Like this is what this guy's job is. This is what this guy's job is here. And so then, of course, we get the bad guys. And first things first, bad guys here. You know, he can do his bad guy. And these guys don't really have names. Sometimes the sheriff is Sheriff Dodge. It's Sheriff, and I can never say this word, Sassafras. And the rest of the guys, like, I mean, in one of the games, it's Deputy Garcia, and it just, yeah, you know, they really didn't come up with solid names for these guys, so you can name them anything that you want. And this is one of these guys too. And it's like, oh man, you know, why doesn't this guy have a gun on him? I mean, well, he does, but this guy also has a bag of stuff he's probably stolen. This other box that has this lock on, he probably stole a couple of things there. So every single guy I recognize why they have what they have. Then you got this guy, man, this guy. And so I'm pretty sure, according to the posters on the set itself, this guy's name is Whip Snake. And Whip Snake is one of these guys where it's like, yeah, having a whip, and like, especially if you were to like whip like a horse, which, you know, obviously you would never do, but for a bad guy, he might try to like frighten them off, or, you know, try to do something. But it's like, buddy, like, so you have a whip, okay, and unless your name is Simon Belmont or Indiana Jones, like, you know, like you don't bring a whip to anything. And then this guy's like, you know what, look, this is what I'm gonna have to use. I'm gonna have to use a cactus. I'm gonna have to use a cactus when I go into battle. And I'm just gonna carry it with my bare hand. Now, to be fair, being hit with a cactus would probably hurt, but like, you really couldn't think of anything else. Like, you couldn't think of anything, so you just brought a cactus. So these are some of the guys. The set does come with 2 horses. Obviously, a darker horse for the, well, bad guys, and one of the things is that these guys are made to ride on top of the horse, you know, so that's what they're made for. And the Wild Western line will have a bunch more horses too, and they're all different. They all look different. They all do, or not do, different things. They just have different looks and colors to them. Of course, you got a good guy horse, and same thing. Everyone can ride this horse too, so, you know, that's nothing different. I couldn't think of how many cannonballs this set came with. What it came with, oops, is that going to stay on? Kind of. It might have came with 3, but for the purpose of the video, just to show 2 is fine. I don't recall how many exactly it came with. So, and then comes with 3 barrels that I'll show you later on. You can launch, and nothing too special about these guys. And then, of course, to launch those cannonballs, it came with a cannon. Now, at this point in the Great Adventure line, this is the first cannon that actually doesn't have to be attached to a set. The castle is attached to a set. The pirate ship cannon is attached to a set. This one, you can move it anywhere that you want to. You can move it anywhere that you'd like to have. And then, I don't know if you can tell all that well, but it kind of has a I don't know, like a gears and metal, if that's a word. I know it's not. I'm trying to think what the right, like, something that looks like it came from like the 1800s, you know. And then the very last thing that you got is a safe. Bad guys have to steal the gold, that to steal the gold bars. And that's what this thing does too, is here, just to kind of show you still, is that there are gold bars there, and that's what they're supposed to do, is they're supposed to steal the gold bars. So lots of stuff here, even just in the guys, there's lots of things you can do to really add in excitement, add in fun. And again, if this were your only Grid Adventure set, you would be fine. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual Wild Western town. There's a lot to cover, so let's get into it. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into the actual Wild Western town itself. There's a lot to go over here for the actual set. Pretty much they're all good things. There are just like a handful of things that like I go, I wish you would have done, or I wish you would have done things differently for it. But the things I wish they would have done differently, I mean, it doesn't take away from the actual set. It's just my own personal thoughts for it, you know. So if this is your first time watching any of these, I grew up with carpet, and sometimes it was hard to stand guys up on. So having sets that have a hard base and lots of areas to stand were very important. And the other thing that I'm kind of weird for is all the extra little details on sets that aren't really important, and like they don't really like pop out unless you really look closely for them, but they add to the overall set. And so let's go ahead and lift this up here and kind of go into some more in depth here. So little things, you got little animals and footprints, and you know, there's keys, there's snakes. You got this Saturday morning cartoon plank here that, of course, if you it comes off. I promise I will get to each of the actual, you know, parts here. Let's go ahead and you know, at this point, let's start off with the sheriff's office here. So sheriff's office, you know, comes with several different things, and I'll explain what each of these things are. And again, there's lots of just areas for your guys to stand out. There's lots of spots for everyone to be. This ladder here, and you can see, I don't know if you can read this, but it says gold. It says gold mine on top, jail, boot hill, and bank. Although whoever put these stickers on really did a poor job. I can tell you it was not me. It was either a parent or older sibling, because I'm looking at them and they're very bent here. They're very wrinkled. Yeah, I want a poster for, you guessed it, Whip Snake, wanted in Texas for being nasty, and that is what it says there. And then you can put guys on this, and there is a little stub there to try to get them to stay on. You know, let's try a different guy. In fact, let's go ahead and try our buddy Whip Snake here, because the bad guy sheriff doesn't really want to stay. Maybe this guy has to. I'm just trying to get this guy on here. Come on. No, he doesn't really want to get on. Anyways, what is supposed to happen is these guys could stay on it, and I'm holding the tripod and phone with one hand while trying to do this with the other one. And of course, this thing falls off. And then you got all these little features here. You got some skulls, you got some brooms, some wheels. There's a little light there. So it does come with some kind of traps, booby traps, you know, here on top. And this is where it's this barrel launcher. And so I'm going to show you just kind of here first. You can do it this way. Ooh, come on. Oh man, that was a poor example. Let's try to redeem myself here. Come on. Yeah. Oop. Well, that second one was kind of more for what we're after. And then of course you can lift it up, and this might be easier to get it out here. And one of the things, oh, you're going to hear things fall down in the background here. One of the things with the barrel launcher is that it is a boot that is kicking all these things out here. And you go down into the actual sheriff's office. I don't know if you can see it all that well. You probably can't. I'm gonna have to try to turn it around. But so here is, there's a desk with, there's a gun hanging up there. There's a key. There's like a little bag, and then over here. In fact, humor me for a second here. You might be able to see a little bit more, and maybe not. Anyways, but that's a wanted poster that I made as a kid in the Wild Western Town game that has been on there for many years. It's just part of my set. Wanted. I don't even know how much. Can I read it there? Wanted Mr. Gold. That's what it says. I mean, I know you're like, Tommy, I can't read any of that, but just to show you there, just to show you. Anyways, let's go back to the actual jail here. So the jail, does open up, and yeah, it is very dirty in there, but you got like a thing of food. There's like some change there, a cup, and you go ahead and you put all your bad guys in there, and one of the things, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to show you slightly for it, but one of the things that they advertised, at least I'm pretty sure that they advertised, were that the bars here were supposed to be able to bend a bit, so your guys could get out of the jail. They kind of move a bit. I'm kind of hesitant to do them too much due to this set being very old. I think it came out like 96, and so yeah, this is an old set now, and I'm like, do I really want to bend these bars more than I have to? So anyways, let's go ahead and free this bad guy here in case that I have to use them again here. So yeah, that's just the sheriff's office. Then you get the hotel, which is the only part of the set that I wish were slightly different. So first things first, you got and I'll show you more of this on the back too. So you got your doors that open, and inside there are various, it might be easier to show you on the back, but there's various like store items and things that your guys can buy. But the main focus of this part is you gotta have your guys on top here. And if you, let's shut this real quick, and if you flip the flag down, your guys are thrown out the window. You guys are thrown out of the window there. And then if you were to do it the other way, if you were to flip your flag like this, your guy gets launched off of the building. So this is a cool feature. Let's go ahead and show you what the other side. It looks like you might be able to get some of those actual things. So there really isn't too much to say. There's this weirdo guy looking out. See if we can get some of this here. Let's try to move this so we can see it a little bit better. Yeah, so you can kind of see there's some different items here, different items you can see. Again, and I know I always say this, but on my website, where the adventure never ends, you probably see some of these items just a little bit better for it, but a whole bunch of different things. So anyways, so the only, I guess, complaint that I have is and like seriously, like this is the only one. Instead of this thing taking up all the room to have your guys slide down, it should have just been like from here, or I mean, sorry, like it should have been up to just like a certain point, like have it like don't have all of this be a shoot for these guys to come out. I wish that, like, similar to like this space here. I wish there were space here somewhere for your guys, you know, somewhere of the sort that like there's some stickers where it looks like hotel room doors, you know, maybe there's like a front desk there, you know, something of the sort that you could add on, or you know, just a little bit of extra space. And again, it's not like a huge gripe, but it is something that I wish that they would have added into it. And then you got the bank, and now, of course, your cannon can come off, and we've seen how cannons work. We'll just show you real quick. We'll just do a basic boom. So if you got to hear the loudest echoing cannon, but so, you know, with your bank here, and I actually have to put this inside. It's what is supposed to happen. You're supposed to put your safe inside, and again, you got another wanted poster, wanted blackjack, and that, you know, he just wanted, like no one talked about what, you know, he's done. Anyway, so this thing's supposed to come on down like your guys just broke the bank here. You can see there's a bunch of like cracked spots there. There's a bunch of, you know, things, and then your bad guy's supposed to come and get all the gold bars from it. The bank doesn't have a bunch of stuff, but one of the things that I do appreciate with the bank is, again, all the little spots here. You can see there, I don't know if you can see it all that well, but it says 1876. Inside of the bank there is, oh, here, you're not going to be able to see that. Actually, still, you can't really see it all that well. I'm just trying to get a spot for you to see. You know what? Maybe if I did it this way. Move that over. Anyways, it's just a little, it says closed U.S. mail. There's a couple of options there. So, trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing here with the Wild Western Town. It's, again, there's a lot to do with this set. Each of the three main parts of the set have stuff for you to do. There's lots of adventure to be had. There's lots of things to be had with it. This is a solid set, and I, you know, I truly think it's a close second. I'm still going to give the Reigning Crown to the castle, but this is a solid set. It has lots of things, lots of options here. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy watching this. As always, please check out my other Grid Adventure stuff, wheretheadventureneverends.com, and I'll see you guys next time. So I forgot to mention, and so this will be attached at the end of the Wild Western Town video, but I meant to say this earlier for it, but I wish the Wild Western Town series and sets came with additional pieces you could attach to the Wild Western Town. Sorry, not attached, but like you could have like, oh, here is your, you know, like, I'm trying to think, like they probably wouldn't have, well, as long as they don't show there's like alcohol and stuff, but like a bar type, you know, building here, and you know, maybe there's some sort of feature where guys can slide across the counter, or, you know, here is your bar set and your like gun store. You know, I'm just trying to think of things, you know, various things. Anyways, but you know, things to make it be like a giant town here, you know, a giant town. So, anyways, that's pretty much what I was going to say. You know, it would have been a cool feature to make your Wild Western Town even bigger by buying like additional buildings that do like little extra things.